My. So, Disney. What you doing, Disney? Huh? What you doing? So, this show, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which clearly sounds like it's a show generally directed towards children, that's on the Disney Channel or Disney Plus or whatever. It has an episode, or had an episode, revealing Brooklyn, the main character, as transgender before it was pulled from broadcast. An animator claims it was shelved because of which party won the recent election, but Disney denies. Of course they do. If you have a person on the show, which is probably a flaming lefty as well, and they're outright saying, yeah, it was shelved because, if Kamala won, we would have continued, we would have allowed it to be seen, but Donald Trump won, so we're pulling it. What does that say about their agenda? So again, these are 13-year-olds. This is a 13-year-old girl, and apparently there's another character, her friend or whatever, who's non-binary. So you have two children, one transgender, one non-binary, and they're 13 years old. So there's nothing wrong with being trans, okay? But let kids be kids. Let them hit puberty. Let them experience their gender fully. If they're not happy with their purchase, when they get, when they become 18, if they want to start lopping off body parts, taking hormones or whatever and lopping off body parts, that's their choice. They're 18. But if you have a child and you start putting them on hormone blockers because they're 5 years old and they told you they feel like a girl, these are kids who are still eating glue and dirt. So maybe you should just nod your head and say, oh, that's great, sweetie. We support you. Instead of altering their life completely. Because I'm not going to say, the specific word, but for people who are privy to this, 41%. So maybe stop forcing this crap on people. 41%, people. 41%. If you want your child to be part of that 41%, then by all means, go ahead. Keep doing it. Let them become just another statistic. Apparently, you don't care about the well-being of your kid, and instead you care more about getting brownie points with your stupid lefty friends. 41%. Let that sink in. But this show, on Disney Plus, which is a very childish name, clearly directed at kids, the episode has been pulled. Originally scheduled to air on November 15th as a part of the Marvel's animated series' second season, the episode titled The Gatekeeper sees the volleyball team at Moon Girls Middle School, the Squirrels, including the titular heroine, who serves as their water girl, going up against the league's defending champions, the Lady Leopards, in the school district's regional playoffs. Getting some practice in ahead of the game, the aforementioned Brooklyn at one point decides to take a breather. In doing so, filling up her water bottle, itself prominently adorned with a trans is beautiful sticker, sitting down next to her friend, the non-binary Ty, and proceeding to snack on some orange slices. So you have one girl who's trans, one girl who's non-binary, they're 13 years old. It's like the celebrities now, how you have a celebrity, or just people on the left in general, how you see these moms on TikTok and they say, oh yeah, all 3 of my kids are transgender. What are the odds? It's like the saying when it comes to like a vegan cat or a vegan dog. You know who's really making the choices here. Biting into her first citrus piece, Brooklyn reminisces, orange slices bring me back to my soccer days, to which Ty affirms, we've come a long way since 5th grade. Again, keep in mind these kids are only 13. Agreeing, Brooklyn then admits the orange slices were the only light in the darkness of me having to play on the boys' team. And make way, we have a group of diverse girls, but make way for the evil white woman, because white people are evil, and that's another thing that they're trying to drive home here, because this woman believes that the specific gender should be playing on that specific team. Girls, biological girls, should be playing with other girls on their team, and boys shouldn't be on girls' teams. Boys stay with the boys, girls stay with the girls because this evil white woman knows that there's biological differences, especially through puberty, and that the boys are considerably stronger than the girls. But no, she's evil. Evil. Because she's white, which makes her evil. Overhearing this, Lady Leopard's Coach Greer, proceeds to recoil in horror before rushing to inform her counterpart on the squirrels, Coach Herbeck, of this gender discrepancy, as she believes it is unfair to allow a boy to compete in an all-girls competition. The gall and the audacity. However, upon discovering that Coach Herbeck is both aware of this information and accepts Brooklyn's identity, Coach Greer decides to take matters into her own hands by turning to the league's official rule book in hopes of finding a loophole which she can use to disqualify the Squirrels' captain. Basically, it just says she sticks them in a locker room and traps them in there, and then forces them to do puzzles and all that. And you can see, actually, where is it? Down a bit more. As you can see, what a diverse group of people, right? Diverse group of kids. But uh-oh, here comes the big mean white lady. But Disney's totally not pushing the agenda here. They could have easily made this a black coach, a Hispanic coach, but oh, that would be pushing racial stereotypes. And we can't pass up the opportunity to force down people's throats that white people are evil. Ooh. Who cares about the boogeyman? These are the ones lurking under your bed at night. Ooh. Despite the fact that people working on this are like these liberal freaking men and women who are all white. The freaking white guilt in these people is freaking just astounding. Rallying cry, blah, blah, blah. Proceeding to do everything, including Earthbound, Donkey Kong, Legend of Zelda, Squirrel's journey home, ultimately come down to a team battle against a monstrous digital representation of Coach Greer. Blah, blah, blah. Just telling you what happens in the episode. I don't really care. So I guess this is Derek Malik Johnson, the animator. So finally I got hit with one of the projects episode I worked on is getting shelved because of which party that won the recent election. It breaks my heart knowing this impactful and amazing episode, I'm guessing, is now about to be considered a lost piece of media. Recent coverage, unidentified Disney insider reportedly denied this explanation, conversely telling Polygon, in this case, the decision was based on that specific episode, not because of the character being trans. Further, the insider asserted that the episode has not been banned, but rather pulled through, though they did not provide any details as to when it might debut on Disney+. Likewise, despite their denials in the episode's schedule change, was their denials, blah, 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 in neither the recent re-election of Donald Trump or its transgender storyline, the insider declined to provide the supposed actual reason for it being pulled. Imagine that. Maybe if you have a lefty insider who's working on the show saying that's the reason, maybe you should trust them over Disney. Because of course Disney's going to deny it. Of course they're going to deny it. Woke is dying, thank God. And this is supposed to be this is supposed to be children's entertainment. Again, these kids are 13. One's trans, one's non-binary. Let kids be kids. Is it really that hard? Are these parents so determined to ruin their children's lives just for brownie points that they're not willing to wait until the kid is fully grown? Like, you really can't wait till your kid is 18? I mean, I imagine you still have the same sense of pride knowing that you have an 18-year-old who decided to become trans and all that, going through the necessary steps to change their body forever. I mean, why would you need to start them as soon as possible? And if you're all this whole life-saving, transitioning and healthcare, no. if they're threatening or saying that they're gonna, do that because of how they feel as their gender, you get them actual help, because clearly it's like gender dysmorphia or something else, and they need to talk to a professional who can help them. Don't just give in and be like, oh, well, they said they're a female, so I believe them. No, you get them help. You get them help. You don't start lopping off body parts because you think it's going to save their life. Because again, 41%. So the whole episode is essentially an attack on women who are who opposing men in women's sports. Since they are children, as I understand it, Brooklyn is full-fledged biological male. I guess. What is this utter tripe? Glad it was pulled. Hello, base department. But yeah, we have a who is apparently biologically male, uh, 13 years old, and they identify as trans. You have their friend who is non-binary, and this is a kid. This is a show for kids. I mean, just the name of the type. This is not a adult sounding show. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. This sounds like something you'd find on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. This is clearly not a adult show. This is something that families would watch and small children would watch. And yet, here we are pushing this. But now it's not being shown because of who won the election. What does that say about Disney's true intentions? As a parent, normal people would be mortified by this. That this is what they're trying to push towards kids. Again, there's nothing wrong with being trans. And I can't believe I have to keep saying this, but there are people who are listening who are so fucking stupid and think that I'm completely against trans and people transitioning. No, let the kids grow up. Let them hit puberty. Let them discover the gender that they are. And if they don't feel right even after experiencing it, then at 18 years old, they can start lopping off body parts if they want. Okay, but you can't say that a child who is 5, 6 years old, who's still eating glue and dirt and thinking that they're a dinosaur or a princess, can clearly comprehend the just the advancements of just mind-boggling idea of what gender is. Again, look at these celebrities and these other lefties who are on TikTok and Twitter and all that. Oh yeah, I have 3 children. They're all transgender. We know who's making the decision, and it's not the kids. It's not the kids. Let the kids be kids. If they say they're gonna off themselves because they don't feel right in their body, you get them help. You don't just start lopping body parts off. No, you get them mental help because clearly there's something going on up there. And if you truly care about them, you'll get them the help they need, instead of forcing them into something and then having them become that 41%. But no, I'm the one talking crazy here. I'm the one talking crazy here. Gotta love the fact that the sane, rational people are the bad guys in these shows. Not a good look when you basically label a majority of Americans, as the evidence by elections, as bad guys. Yeah, as evidenced by the election. Yeah. So, this is what your kids are watching on Disney. Clearly by the name, it's a freaking show for kids. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I mean, that's no different than Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. I'm sure you guys remember that show. But clearly it's a show directed at kids. And you have a 13-year-old, 2 young kids who are 13 or younger, who are transgender and non-binary. All because Disney wants to sit on their high horse and think it's okay to promote this kind of stuff towards growing children when they're still not even they haven't even reached puberty yet. They haven't even really discovered their gender fully. But then the normal people who get upset about it are suddenly the evil ones. And let me reiterate this for like the 3rd time. Nothing is wrong with being transgender. But Let your kid experience puberty. If they are a boy, let them experience puberty. If they get to 18 and they still don't feel like they're a boy, then they can lop their dick off if they want. They're 18, they're fully able to do so. Or if a girl, goes through puberty and she doesn't feel like a girl and she wants to have her breast removed, when she hits 18, let her do so. If that makes them happy when they reach the age of adulthood, then by all means, go ahead. But to force this crap on kids and confuse them into thinking that just because they like the color pink or play with Barbies that they're transgender is fucking ridiculous. And that's what these freaking parents are doing. My son plays with Barbies. He's transgender, so we started him on hormone blockers. Just stop it. Let kids be kids. Simple as that. Simple as that. Let them make adult, life-altering changes to their body when they're adults. Simple as that. But of course, I'm the one speaking crazy here. Anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.